In August of 2024, I delivered my 1967 Roadster body to a well-known, respected shop in California. The body was in need of work. There was surface rust throughout and a few areas where metal remediation was required. I chose this shop based on the recommendation of friends, as well as a reputation within the Roadster community. It was over 600 miles from my house, and I didn't have a lot of opportunity to check on the progress of the repairs over the last 6 months. Let me go back a little bit. In 2001, when I did the first restoration of this Roadster, I had it painted zinc yellow. I'd identified the Mustang yellow from 1999, as over the course of a few months prior to that, I was driving along the Southern California freeways looking at all the yellow cars I could, and I determined that I really liked that zinc yellow from Ford. It was my second favorite yellow color. As the work was done, I was pleased with the paint that had been done. It was a beautiful color. Wasn't quite as pleased with the longevity or durability of the work that had been performed. Now, fast forward 23 years later, and I decided to paint the car my first choice of color from 2001, the Ferrari Giallo Modena color, or Ferrari yellow. No reason to hold back now. Friday, after nearly 6 months, I was told that the body was ready. I headed down to California with my son and anticipated about a 1,300-mile round trip. I had planned on staying at a relative's house in Mesquite, Nevada, as a stopping point for both there and back. Everything went according to plan until we arrived Saturday morning at 9 a.m. We pointed to the yellow body in the shop and said that we were there to pick it up. The sole worker there was surprised. He said it wasn't supposed to be completed until next weekend. It took about 30 minutes, but the shop owner was able to get some extra hands to work throughout the day, and we were told that we could pick it up the following morning. So my son and I had a day to kill. We went to a local mall, watched a movie, delivered donuts to the workers, and then checked into our hotel. While parking at the hotel, there was the telltale sound and sign of a flat tire. Okay, one more thing to fix. We jacked up the rear, dismounted the tire, found a large metal piece inside of it, likely from the shop area. The spare was then mounted. We went to a nearby Walmart to get the tire replaced. The puncture was not in the sidewall, but close enough to the edge of the tire that the techs didn't want to do it. If I was home, I would have fixed it myself. So I went in, bought a $5 repair kit, which I call licorice sticks, and within 10 minutes, the tire was patched and holding air. It probably took more time to return the spare to its holding place than it did to repair the tire. We then went to Round Table Pizza, a pizza chain that I had fond memories of, that I introduced my son to. It did not disappoint. Then went back to our hotel room, watched some college basketball, and called it a night. Early the next morning, we got back to the shop. The body was outside in the sun, and once again, I was pleased with what I saw. From a distance, it was pretty much dead on the color I was looking for. And then I got closer. The first thing I noticed was that 3 areas of decal holes that I had requested in the front fenders and in the rear had not been filled in. Further inspection showed a large amount of flaws in the paint, as if blocking had been done poorly with no quality control. The worker there was friendly, but he wasn't the one that had done the work on the car. And after 20 minutes of going around the car, documenting large numbers of flaws, in addition to the unpatched holes and honestly a substantial amount of orange peel, we knew we weren't going to get the body home that day. We thanked the worker, had a brief call with the owner, and headed home with an empty trailer. A 1,300-mile round trip, an unexpected hotel stay, a flat tire, and nothing but frustration to show for it. Now, I'm not going to mention the name of the shop. It is a well-known, reputable shop that does many of these Roadster bodies each year, and I am confident that they will make this right. For some reason, the quality that the shop is known for just wasn't there for me. We stopped by Las Vegas to visit a friend on the way home who recently had worked with the shop and had his body done. His car was amazing, and I would have been thrilled if mine looked as good as his. And I hope that it will soon. I've submitted a list of things to take care of to the owner. I'll even do more follow-up this time, and hopefully in a reasonable amount of time I'll have the body back. In the meantime, I'll work on odds and ends as I can. This was a disappointing, tiring weekend. I was really looking forward to getting the body back. This will set me back potentially months, but there are times you just have to accept the hand you've been dealt with and learn from it. Hopefully, future customers of this shop will benefit from my experience, as well as anyone else who is working with long-distance repairs.